Sonny, what's going on, man? Oh, oh. Pablo, hey brother, I've been watching you on and off since around day 80. Glad to see you going high. Wow, man, that's crazy. Crazy to see that you've been following for so long on and off. Hey, bro, Trady, what's happening, man? Anthony, morning, man. Good to see you, Anthony. We meet again. SSL evening, bro. Hope you're feeling well, my man. Smash this sesh as usual. Thank you, SSL. Always appreciate it, dude. Nice to finally catch a live. Yeltsin, hello, man. Oh, Anthony, the elbow, the elbows were sore, very, very sore, unmanageable pain, affecting my normal life. Probably for about 6 months. 6 months I was struggling with it. It took a long time for me to work it out. Squatting suffered, benching suffered, obviously. Rowing was fine, though. Rowing was fine. So now I mess around with this. When I see there's a lot of pain in an area, what that tells me is that there's something is wrong with that area. Something is wrong. And so usually adding strength helps. And so I get kind of reminded of the pain. And I keep thinking to myself, I'm not doing anything for it directly, so I should be. My forearms are weak, and let's train them. And it's very easy to train forearms. They're very resilient, so you can hit them up every single day, you know. And so, and it's a nice little warm up as well to training. And so, I love hitting them. The reason why I like the hammer so much is that as the set progresses and you get tired, obviously here, this is like too hard to maintain. And so when it gets really, really hard and my range of motion starts to suffer, I just move my hand closer to this way. And I can still get quality reps. I love that. And that's why I'm such a big fan of the hammer. Of course, you can do hammer curls and whatever, but I feel like as soon as you start doing these other bigger movements, then you start taking away from the thing that you're trying to do. You know, and all I really want to hit is my forearms. So that was 4 sets. All right. Now we just start supersetting this with the bench press. And my chest is sore from yesterday, but a little bit of bench is not going to hurt, I think. How about I put you guys like here? How about that? Does that make sense? All right. Kyle, hey man, what's going on? Thoughts on Jason Blaha? Oh my goodness, I've not heard that name for a while. Jason Blaha. He's a very well-hated man now. I've seen a few videos of people like putting a lot of time into roasting him, which is an interesting thing by itself, to spend that much time into trying to put somebody down. I find always those individuals very interesting, that somebody will go to that extreme length to do that. But when I first started training, I used to watch a lot of Jason Blaha. I'm talking like first year of training, first 2 years of training, that kind of thing. And I thought he had some really good ideas, and I thought he had some lessons for me to learn. And so I don't really follow him anymore. To be honest with you, I don't really follow many people on social media as it is, in fitness anyway. It just doesn't interest me anymore in that sense. I still watch here and there, but it's, I don't know, you know, people have screwed me over, not directly like that, but people have screwed me over so many times with this fake natty crap and whatever, that I've lost interest in a lot of people. There's not a lot of people that genuinely love the game for what it is. People fall in love with what the game brings them. And I can't really relate to that. You know, I don't relate to people that are using this to get to Lambos and Ferraris, to fame or whatever. I just want to talk training and honest conversation, and there's not a lot of honest people on here. Not a lot of honest people on here. That's something that I've learned. Oh, man. What the hell have I done? I just did 30 reps. Why? I don't know. I lost count by 10. Let's do 3 sets of 30. Why not? Jacob says, what do you do when your traps overactivate in protracting your scapula when bench pressing or in pull-ups. When your traps overactivate in protracting. Like, you mean retracting? I don't think traps protract. I think traps retract. Right? Hello? Huh? Greetings. I don't think traps protract. Right? I don't know. I noticed in your bench press you tuck your elbows in, almost like breaking the bar supinating in your hand. That's turn your lats. I'm just asking because I'm having scap issues in pressing. Very bad for your shoulders. Better, best for your shoulders. I'll go here. Because here I feel like my shoulders can stay healthy. Here I feel like I can put a lot of volume in. Here I can't do anything. Here it's very much a very bad position. So if you're getting too much traps, I think your elbows are flaring too much. You need to drop your scapula down. You need to drop your bar down and do it that way. When the bar starts to drift upwards, I'm thinking your lats are too weak for your traps or something. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe your shoulders are too weak or something is happening. But I essentially go into positions where I can tolerate most amount of volume because I've always had the opinion if I can tolerate a lot of volume, I can survive that volume and get stronger. So it's all about surviving the volume. All right. I cannot do any volume in the bench press today. I'm spent from yesterday. So I figured I'll just do a few singles and then I'll do other things. Just turn on, warm up a little bit, hit the forearms a little bit. Just say hello to the bench today. Nothing much. Now that I've introduced the inclines, I feel like I'm doing so much volume that I cannot do my normal daily, set to 20 to 23. The incline is very taxing. Oh, the delay is enough. I can sit replay on it. Oh, that's sick. Carl says, I had a burning question. Do you do any pullovers or do you just do rows for back training? Does it carry over to the bench press in your opinion? I don't think rows carry over to the bench press at all. In fact, when I do rows, I get weaker in the bench press noticeably. Maybe down the track you would carry over, I'm not sure, but you know, today I'll do rows and I know that I will get weaker in bench press in the following days. It's just always been like that for me. I don't, obviously rowing is very important, back is very important, but rowing and bench press seems to compete for the same musculature and the same recovery points. And so I don't feel like there's a lot of goodness there, to be honest with you. So if you want to really have a really good bench press session today, do not row beforehand, do not row the day before, do not row 2 days before, 3 days before. It's just one of those things. It just takes a lot out of whatever. I don't quite understand it. But anywhere where there is rowing, bench press will suffer. Yes, this is what I'm trying to reteach myself. My guess is that my serratus is weak. So do you have any tips on where to aim the bar? Listen, man, like I don't think all of these things, cueing or whatever, I think all of these things are irrelevant. You just have to drop the bloody weight and just start doing sets of 20s. And everything else will take care of itself. You know, when something is weak, it is very hard to engage it. It is very hard to connect with it. It is very hard to just teach yourself to engage something that is completely dormant, asleep, and inactive. And so drop the weight down, start pumping away in the bar part that you're happy with, where you can survive a lot of volume. And that might be different to me, you know. So if I tell you exactly where to go with the bar, that might not be exactly the same position that you need to be in. You need to be in a slightly different position. And so whatever that position for you is, where it just feels good, hit that shit and hit it with a lot of volume. Absolutely destroy that. The body will tell you where it wants to be. I don't really know, you know, where you need to be. Everyone is different. The way your AC joints come together, the way your mobility, the structure, all of that is going to be slightly different. And so I hate telling people exactly where to put their hands or their feet or whatever. No, you just have to feel it. And a really good indicator is simply, where is that position where I can just spend a lot of time without any injuries, without any strains and pains. I think that is a great freaking way to kind of start thinking about it. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. All right. Let's get 120 on the bar. Like I want to move this stuff around today. It's all annoying me. The positioning of some of these pieces in the gym. Freaking tripping over this row thing. All right, that's 120. Give it a bit of a tickle. 30 on. Fill that a little bit. If I do this, I'm just trying to experiment with something. I'll give you guys a look. I just want to hit it a little bit differently. You guys even see what I'm doing? You guys even see? I don't know if you can see. I'm just making shit up as I go along. I'm not really. I just want to do the extensions today. Now, where were we? Trying to retain. Apollonius, do you use steroids still? Just wondering. Yeah, man. I'm on 1,000 of testosterone and 500 of tren every day into my glutes. Carl Broom says the lats are very much in depression for the scapula, locking your shoulders in for breast press. So in the short, back training does help in the bench press. Loving the radial deviations for some brachioradialis work. Absolutely, man. That always feels good to me. Always. Last question that I'm going to pop off. When you come back from holiday, how are you pushing in your training when you come back? Just prepping 2 weeks, holding it myself. Oh, just by feel, dude. You just go by feel. See what you can do. Have a plan of what exercise you want to hit, what you want to emphasize, and you just start there. Let the exercises tell you what's going on. Let your performance tell you what's going on. And a lot of times, when you're in the warm-ups of whatever day, you kind of work out quickly what's possible. I mean, I've had a week of sickness, and I've come back and I'm way off the targets that I want to be hitting. But you do the best you can. Instead of doing 3 sets of 23, I'm doing 3 sets of like 23, then 17, then 15 type of thing. But you know, you let it build up slowly. I don't think you actually squatted last night. Streak is over. David, you must have missed it. What up, Ivan? Christopher C. What's up, man? Had to do it. Hard to do, but rewarding. Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. High reps. Anything is very hard to do, but very rewarding. All right. I see 140 now. Too heavy. No. Cables don't work well with extensions. So annoying. What can I use for extensions? I'm brainstorming. I haven't really found a good exercise for extensions at all. I think flexions are so much better to hit. Oh, that's way too heavy. Way too heavy. Maybe this is going to be the best I'm going to do. It's way too heavy, way too light, way too heavy. Just can't find. Supersetting benching with forearms is crazy work. It is crazy until you get elbow pain, and then it's not crazy at all. It is like a godsend. Then it becomes really, really good. I just want to turn those muscles on, make the elbows feel insulated, and then you get after it for a 3-plate bench. everything starts to feel a bit better on the bench. Oh my God, that pec is so fucking sore. Now I get to see the replay because there's a delay. That's kind of cool. It's amazing I can do this after a volume day yesterday. Bloody good, mate. Bloody good. Now, this is all done. Let me take you guys for a ride. Now, let me take this off. It's getting a bit warm in here. Warmed up nicely. Alrighty. Just a little bit of a bench workout before I get into this. This was on my mind today. I agree with you with the two muscle groups competing for the same recovery points. I train pull-ups with a lot of frequency. And I thought it would be a good idea to start doing pullovers and shrugs. You do a lot of pull-ups, start doing pullovers and shrugs. Pull-ups and pullovers, I don't see the connection there, man. I don't see, I think that is very alike. Because think about it, what's a pull-up? You're going from here to here, that's a pull-up. And a pullover, you're going to here. It's like, it's two of the same sort. I wouldn't do it. It's one or the other, I think. So maybe have a, you know, if you want to do pullovers, stop pull-ups for a little bit. Try and progress pullovers and just so on and so forth. Like, if they're identical movements, then it becomes very, very murky waters. I don't like to do it that way. Zyber says, I love content. Thank you, man. Innovator, Rez, hey, Dave Cassie, supersetting forearms with crazy work. I'm not in Serbia, man. I'm in Australia. Whoa, streak's over. Thank you, Josh. Brandon, hello. Anthony, what the fuck, steroids? Don't people realize that after 2,000 days you'd be as big as Larry Wheels if you'd been on much gear? That's right. Sometimes you gotta just mess around with some of these trolls. They'll want you to say you've been on steroids, so cool, man. Let's roll with that. I'm on steroids. I'm taking a shit ton of testosterone every day. Whatever makes you sleep. How has training influenced other areas of your life, such as relationships, career, and mental health? Oh, Yeltsin. Endlessly, my man. What hasn't it impacted? You know, it impacts everything. Absolutely everything. And all positively, I might add. You know, you're more confident, you're more chilled because you are exerting yourself every single day. Because of that, you are calmer. I think I'm a much better friend, husband, father, because I get all of this aggression out of me. I think all men need a release. And those men that don't release, I don't know what's going on there. I'm not happy with my extensions. I don't know what I could do for extensions. I want to do something that feels just as good as flexion. Other than doing freaking curls, you know, reverse curls, I don't know what else to do that feels amazing on it. Other than supination. I could do supination, that always kind of works well. Also can do overhead press with a straight bar. How am I feeling today, Andrew? Feeling good, man. Yeah. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm a little bit sluggish today. But still getting after it. I'll do some rowing now and then some hip stuff and squatting. Oh man. That's plenty. 3 plates is plenty. Whew. Oh. Oh man. All right, so that was one set of 3 plates. Do a few. Yeltsin said, "That's beautiful, man. What have you discovered about yourself through your training regimen?" Oh man, these are some deep questions, dude. Deep questions. Endless. Endless. There needs to be specifically kind of like specific questions. You can't just give me a general question like that. It doesn't spark anything immediately in my mind to cover, but I've learned a lot, dude. Mostly that I am resilient, that I am then I can be disciplined, I can rock up, I can get the work done. That's pretty much what comes to mind straight away, but there's a lot more to it, dude. A lot more. Andrew says, "I love that you got some new machines to mess around with. So cool to have them at home, man." Yeah, Andrew, really happy with them. Really happy. It makes training much more interesting at home to mess around with them, especially the hip machines. I'm loving those. Absolutely loving them. Bakama. Oh, so you live in Australia. I did not know. But you are from Serbia, right? Yeah, man. From Serbia. I'm from Bulgaria and it's super hot. Do I miss Serbia? No. I'd say no, I don't miss it. I mean, I was a kid, so I don't really know what to miss. I grew up here, dude. This is my world. My world is Australia. I was a baby, relatively speaking. I was 9 years old when I left. There's nothing to miss. What am I missing? I don't know. If I left when I was 20 or 30, absolutely I would be saying I missed a lot. But yeah, I wouldn't say I miss it. I'm sad about it. I'm sad about the country, for sure. But I don't miss it. What I miss doesn't even exist. The country that I left is not that country anymore. The world's moved on. Everything's moved on. So even my memories are out of date. My memories are not accurate anymore. It's all changed, and all the stuff that I'm hearing from people that, you know, what Serbia was in 1995 is not what it is now in 2025. So, you know, the world moves on. People change, countries change. It's all different now. This stuff. I've been doing very high volume training for 1 to 2 months, and then 1 to 2 weeks of high intensity, low volume strength training. Basically for those thoughts and periodization blocks. What do you mean by volume and intensity blocks? I need to understand what that means. Volume and intensity. How many reps in reserve for both of those? So when you're talking about volume blocks, are you talking about, you know, sets of 10 to 15 to 20? And by intensity, you mean weight, heavy weight? Or, because, you know, you could have really, really high intensity sets of 20. That is really, really high intensity. Intensity is a reference of reps in reserve, or how difficult the set is. That's what intensity is. Intensity doesn't need to imply that we are talking about 1s, 2s, and 3s or 5s, you know. So I would say that my AMRAP period, where I was doing 180 kilos for a set of 10, 11, 12, 13, working up to that PR of 13 reps, that was as high as intensity I've ever done in my life. But it wasn't doubles, triples, 5s, singles. And that was the hardest training I've ever done. Will you go live for... Oh, David, I don't know, man. Maybe. I will continue doing these lives because I'm still enjoying them. It's fun. So absolutely some of these PRs will fall during lives. It'll be really cool, I think. It'll be really cool, David. I'm glad you're happy. You do look like Serbian, though. I can tell you're a Balkan kid like me. We look different. Genes. Yeah, you can spot them from a mile away, can't you? Is the shape of the head, the shape of the body, everything looks a specific way. Bio says high volume sets of 10 to 20 with 2 to 3 reps in reserve. Low volume will be 3 to 5 reps with 0 to 1 reps in reserve. High volume, low volume. I see, Bio. Those are your definitions. Yeah, interesting. So you go from 10 to 20 to 3 to 5. Yeah, I mean, that would work, definitely, for sure. I would probably say, I think you said that up here somewhere, 1 to 2 months. Yeah, so you do 8 weeks, 8 and 2, basically. 8 weeks volume and then 2 weeks of heavy weight. That's I like that. Yeah, not bad. Hammerhead 23 says, when you go from your 290 and 300 deadlift, do not be going high volume on inverted rows or chin-ups. That's how I tore my bicep on 305 deadlift. I use straps. Use straps to make the same mistake as me. Yeah. I don't like to do mixed grip on deadlifts at all. I used to do that when I first started, but I'm not a fan of that anymore. Even though I understand people that use steroids are the ones at risk of bicep tears, even for me, natural, me immortal, I just feel like it's a really, really bad position to be in. Not so much the bicep, which that's concerned as well, but I just don't like the positions. Yeah. I don't like the positions that your body gets into. One's hand opened, scapula pinched. The other one is scapula open, so this is closed, this is open. Helicoptering, I don't like any of that. The forces are uneven, I don't like that. If I was to ever go to a deadlift competition, it would be hook grip, no doubt about it. I've done hook grip, I've done up to 220 on hook grip. I know I can do it. It's just a matter of applying myself to it and conditioning my fingers, my thumbs. But I don't like the mixed grip. I don't like it at all. I think that's 3 sets. That's not bad. Not a bad feeling. Heavy ass rows. I'll do 2 more. Strip the weight, do some more. Bobby, what's happening, man? How many sets of the low volume? I'm natty. It can happen 21. Oh, there you go. You're natty. Damn. I'm not sure if I've heard too many people like that. Tearing biceps is a natural. I think you might be the first one that I've ever heard. But there you go, it happens, huh? You'll get it, and get it healthy, bro. You're a beast. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, dude. I've seen athletes tear on speed reps of 225 using mixed grip. Fucking hell. There you go, Bobby. Jesus, that scares the shit out of me. After more than 2,000 days of consistent training, what lessons do you take away from that experience? What lessons do I take away? Well, that goes to the same question that you asked before. There are many lessons, dude. You know, you can't really summarize 2,000 days in a freaking sentence, man. Dude, 5 years is a long time. I've matured on every level, really. And I think the training along the way has helped me be a better dad, husband. I'm more confident, you know, in myself. There's so much there, man. Without a doubt. All right, number 4 here. Let me change my foot positioning here a little bit. Fuck, that was a shit set. Fuck it. Just manhandle it. But I feel my traps big time on that set. It's funny how we all get so worried about freaking form and whatnot, but sometimes I feel the worst muscle DOMs on shitty freaking reps where I'm yanking and muscling it. I feel all sorts of shit going on. It's not just about that perfect range of motion, because that's not all out effort. It's these type of crappy sets where you're fucking heaving it and trying to work out which muscle can do the most work. Everything's failed. How do you continue to stay to move the weight? That's what I feel like does the most damage. Or maybe I should reframe that a little bit better. It's doing good form until failure, and then the last few reps of that, in that failure, you're kind of yanking it and whatever. Especially in a movement like this, where you're so locked in and supported, you can't really get hurt, man. So you can just absolutely send it. Strongest man on earth. Yeah, looked heavy for sure. Hey Van, what is the key to staying healthy in a high germ environment like your workplace? Oh, just do all the normal things that we all know. Sleep, sun, nutrition. That's kind of 90% of it. And obviously practice good hand hygiene and all the rest of that. And you'll be on your merry way to give yourself the best chance, but sometimes you can't avoid it. You're starting to look and sound like a real bodybuilder now. Doing damage. Thank you, Dave. Yeah. All right, let's try and squeeze out another shitty freaking set here, and then we'll strip a plate. I feel like my lats are giving me the invisible lat syndrome now, walking around like I own the place or something. Walking around here like I paid the bloody mortgage or something. Oh, fuck. All right. Brace yourselves for a shit storm of a set. That's 5 sets of 3 plates. Not bad, mate. Not bloody bad. Start a squat every day. Number 1, you look like you hadn't eaten in a week yet, squatting 350. Oh, David, cracking me up, man. Hammerhead says, I am these T-bar rows after the good form reps with some weighted stretch shrugs. Not using your arms, keeping them straight, just flex shoulder blades. Yeah, nice, man. Bobby, kilos, man, kilos here. Oh, mystery option, yeah. I like the sound of that one. You often, Anthony says, you often talk about the amount of work you put into your squat. Apart from actual squatting, what were you doing? Apart from actually squatting, what were you doing? Anthony, you mean like in the journey, the whole journey, or what? Are you talking about like everything included? other than squats? What have I been doing? Is that what you mean? Or like right now? Or like the history of the channel? How many meals a day do you eat? Do you space it out or eat when the time allows? Bio, when the time allows, man. I'm a nurse in an emergency department. I eat when I can. I can't eat 4 meals during the day. That's impossible. I only get 2 breaks. Anthony, watch his videos or does everything, mostly compounds, the best training. Oh, Anthony, you're talking about everything. Anthony, I've done everything and anything under the sun. I've blasted every which exercise for every bloody amount of time. I've experimented, I've hypothesized all of it, from mobility to upper body to lower body. I've tried it all, really. Everything. Obviously, I've always had the squat focus, and for the vast majority of training, I've always kind of been focused around what can help me improve my squatting, what can help me fix my hip pain and whatnot. That consumed a large part of the journey. But I've had periods of like focusing heavily on deadlifts as a progression to the thought of what can help my hip. Deadlifts always seem to kind of feel good. But I've done it all. Probably the least amount of focus I've had is on bench press. You know, I've never really had bench press as a focus where I really dedicate a lot of my energy to it until up in, recently. But yeah, been a long journey, dude. So much stuff. That's 15 with 2 plates. Oh, fuck. I mean, to get into ATG, things such as sitting in a deep squat. Oh, Anthony, talking about that. Anthony, man, I've done so much stuff over the course of the journey. And let me tell you, mobility work is the least productive thing you can do to get into an ATG squat. I know that sounds crazy, but I've literally got next to 0 outcomes of stretching for better mobility in the squat. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm giving you my honest opinion. And I've tried smashing the ankles multiple times in this journey. Always felt shit. Literally 45 minutes after I stopped the exercises that I was doing, my ankles revert back to where they were. It's impossible to get progress that way. Stretching the hips, very, very temporary benefits. I wake up the following morning, it's as though I didn't spend 2 hours stretching the night before. Back to square one. Fucking waste of time. What helped me the most was addressing weaknesses with strength training. So something simple as doing RDLs the night before. Long RDLs, weighted, hard. I've done stuff like 200 kilo RDLs for sets of 5. The next day I wake up and I have good mobility. The following day even better. There's something about strengthening the core, strengthening the glutes, strengthening the hamstrings, getting them longer, then somehow spills over to the calves and the Achilles and the foot. What people don't understand, and this is something that took me a little while to understand, is that these muscles that we talk about, such as calves, soleus, gastrocnemius, the multiple hamstrings that we have, them inserting into the hip, above the hip, psoas, the rectus femoris, the hip flexors. All of this shit is not sitting on our body in complete isolation. This is all connected through a network of fascia. So if you do something like RDLs, if you do something like deadlifts, if you do something with a good range of motion, like stiff-legged deadlifts perhaps, and you're training the shit out of the hamstrings and you're elongating your quads, your hamstrings and your glutes, and you're training the hell out of your posterior chain, lower back, core, that puts slack, that puts length into all of those structures. And those structures then, through these fascia, end up releasing the calves and the Achilles. Because the fascia in the hamstring, when it's really, really tight, will also make the calves tight. So it makes the whole posterior chain tight. So simply adding a little bit of length in the hamstring through weighted stretching, where you are actually strengthening the hamstring, will also elongate your calf and your Achilles. Because the fascia doesn't just engulf one area, it engulfs the entire posterior leg. It's all glue that you kind of break up. And so you make the hamstring stronger and longer, all of a sudden the calf feels longer and stronger. That is the most benefit for your time in training. Static stretching is very, very poor. I've read literature about the PNF stretching, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation stretching, which is essentially what RDLs are, if you think about it, but I don't think about them in the traditional sense like those physios did. Just simply doing bodybuilding movements for the posterior chain will give you the most bang for your buck. That's my honest opinion, probably a very unpopular opinion, but I've spent a lot of time stretching my ankles with fucking zero outcome. Literally the next day I wake up, it's as though I've done nothing. That's a very disheartening thing to go through. And I did that for a lot of time after listening to all the gurus talk about it. I mean, to get into your head, it's just what? I bet you to introduce creatine into your diet. My wife and I take it regularly now. We have never looked back. It really is not cheating and is becoming widely accepted as a key supplement for all the people who don't lift or weight train. Jose, I understand all of that. But fundamentally speaking, it doesn't make sense to me to take something like creatine, to take anything like a supplement like that, and to saturate the fuck out of the body with something that is not naturally occurring like that. It makes no sense to me. Science might be behind about what the true negative effects are and whatnot, and so I always tend to go to natural. When has our species ever had this much creatine in the bloodstream? I'll ask you that. Is it natural? It's not natural, dude. It is not natural to have so much creatine in your system. And so therefore, I don't like the idea of it. I understand it's beneficial. Also, microdosing testosterone was probably not going to harm you as well, according to the research today. So why don't you just do that? That's the kind of thought that I have. Okay, cool, no worries. It's not cheating. I get it. I'll get all of that. But it's not natural. It is not a natural thing to have that much freaking creatine in your body. No amount of meat consumption could get you that much creatine as what people are taking right now. So therefore, it is not a natural state to be in. Therefore, I don't want to do it. Science or no science, science might be a little bit behind on what the true answers are. We now know things that 50 years ago we thought had no harm. Now we know asbestos, some of the industrial materials that we use, like asbestos, is killing people. In the 70s, we thought smoking was great. It's killing people. There are medical things that we've done throughout history of medicine that we now know we are killing people. Who knows? I'm just banging on here about some random shit, but maybe a creatine is going to give you early onset of dementia. I'm just saying shit like that. Who knows? Or maybe we'll bring on some other thing, or kidney disease, or heart disease, or whatever. There might be links there that they haven't connected yet. You need to understand that research is not God's work. They don't really know. They're just playing and controlling certain variables to get something that is repeatable in an experiment. My question is, what are you really getting out of it? Are you a professional athlete? No, you're not. Are you competing? No, you're not. Why? Who cares if you lift another 15 kilos, dude? Who cares if you're another 5 kilos of body weight? Who ultimately cares? I don't understand why I would do that. I don't really care, dude. And so that's my stance with everything that happens. Oh, take vitamin D. That's also very great. Take 5,000 units. Why? Go outside if you need sun. It is natural to have up and down levels as the seasons go by. It is unnatural to have peak vitamin D levels in absolute pitch black winter. It is not normal. That is not natural to happen. Our ancestry, our evolution has not had levels of creatine, vitamin D in our blood like this ever. So now in the 21st century, we're like, it's a great idea to saturate the shit out of the body with creatine. Makes no sense to me. I just want to live a natural life. That's all. And that's my stance on a lot of these things. Why don't you take supplements? I don't want to. The only stuff I do is I take vitamin C and zinc when I'm like about to get sick, or I do get sick. All other times, I'm not interested. And that's my stance with a lot of this stuff. Because my thing is, where do you draw the line? Like I said to you before, there's really good research to say that taking a little bit of testosterone is not going to harm you at all. Why not just do that? Start pinning. There's really good evidence to say that a little bit of testosterone is going to go a long way for very little, next to no harmful side effects. Why not do that? I'm sure taking micro doses of a lot of these drugs that people are abusing could bring some sort of benefit. I just don't understand it, dude. Like, where do you draw the line? Why stop at creatine? That's my question to you. Why stop at creatine? There's been other substances that have been researched to bits as well. Why stop at creatine? Politician Voda. Thank you, man. Thank you, dude. Same to you, man. I agree about hamstring scarf relationship. My bro always skip hamstrings and wonders why they can't grow. Morning from the UK, man. Love your content. Thank you, Max. Bobby says, who does just a little bit of test? Oh, here, let me flick the lights on in here. It's the end of the day. All right, that's 3 sets of that, 3 sets of 15. Oh, goodness. Ivan, well, lifting heavy weight in the gym is also not natural. We do not evolve to train our bodies like that. What about that angle? But karma. I couldn't disagree with you more, my friend. Do you really think what we do in these gyms is more strenuous than our ancestors? Do you really think that? I just really challenge you to think about that. In my worst days of performance, in terms of volume and gym work and whatever, it's not even a toenail of what my grandfather did on those farms in their steel factory. Do you understand what it is to run a farm? Do you understand what it is to do 18 hours, 16-hour days on the farm? Doing all that heavy shit and digging and trenching and putting fences up and you know, taking care of the animals and carrying hay. And dude, they didn't have a lawnmower, dude. They used a scythe. I'm talking about 18 hours a day, every single day for 60 years. Dude, there's no way in hell that you are outworking your grandfather. There's absolutely no way in hell. You probably are sitting in right now in an air conditioning room with perfect temperature. You go into your car, it's probably an Audi, Beamer, or Merc, or Holden, or Honda. Heated seats, heated fucking gear knobs. Heated freaking steering wheel. Perfect jacket, always dry. Everything's looked after, never hungry. You call in sick when you don't feel great. Do you think your grandfather called in sick for the farm? Because he's going to send his wife out into the snow, chop some timber, to drag a tree down from the forest? My friend, nothing we do in this gym is outworking those people. Our lives in the 21st century are a joke compared to what people did back in the day. Absolute joke. Even if you look at modern history, look at ancient history of what people did. Just open up any textbook, you will see that we live absolute holidays of lives. And for you to sit here and to tell me that creatine is deserved for us and not those people back then, how the fuck did those people build the bloody pyramids? I know that's a conspiracy theory and there's a lot of people have different ideas who built the pyramids and whatever. Are you kidding me? These people were worked to death. Fuck your creatine. They didn't have any food in their belly, let alone creatine. There are people in the past who have done incredible feats of endurance and strength with hardly any food in their belly. Not 20% body fat. They were like single-digit body fat because of scarcity, because of famine, and they still had to work. My friend, your existence is so easy. And so every single day that you come in here and you think to yourself, you're hardcore, my friend, it's not even a fraction of what those boys and ladies did back in the day. It's not even a fucking fraction. We live in comfort. It is embarrassing to even think that. And so these boys that are taking creatine and steroids and testosterone and tren and all this shit just to lift a bunch of weights for 45 minutes, fucking hell. Jesus Christ. And all these people are talking about like PRs, physical PRs, and how strong I am. Mental. This is where life is, my friends. It's not in your freaking biceps. Life is up here. And most people are too pussy to do life. You know, they buckle under the weight of pressure of being a father, a son, a good citizen of the earth. They buckle under simple pressures of life. This is not life. This is life. And so we talk about PRs, deadlifts, SBD, and all this sort of shit. But the real strength in life is up here. And we see more and more weakening mental health in a world where there's abundance of comfort. Something's amiss. With every supplement known to mankind, we are weak up here. Weak up here. Doesn't matter what the body's doing. This business of supplements, it is such a joke, dude. You are furthering the weakness state of mind to rely on everything that's under the sun, and yet still our forefathers are outperforming us in every freaking metric. Our testosterone counts have never been lower in the last 50 years. Okay, cool, no worries. We're being poisoned by the food and the radiation and all this crap. Cool, no worries. These people back in the day worked harder than us, ate less than us, and yet they were more nutritioned. They were tougher. You know, now you have 30-year-old men still in their mama's wombs. At 16, you became a man. Back in the 40s and the 30s. It's a different world, an absolutely different world. And so any time I hear this conversation about, you know, oh, we're so hardcore nowadays, it's embarrassing for me, because just think about my grandfather. Oh, my Lord. Do you understand that I am a fucking nurse? I am a nurse. I will never have any grounds to say that I worked harder than any of my fucking ancestors. I do nursing for a living. Do you understand? And so, for people that have this opinion that we're hardcore right now, all I think about is you don't know enough history. You don't know enough history. They did more with less resources. Astonishing. Bakama says, no, my friend. My point was that doing a farm is okay because it is natural, but it's going to the gym the same. Ivan, my family is owning a farm for 100 years. I've been doing farm work, helping my dad and grandfather since I was 8 years old. I agree with you overall, but asking your creatine versus gym going. Play basketball anymore, but he's dunking on you. All right, so Bakama, you know all about it. You know all about that live then. Well, I guess to answer your question more specifically, is gymming natural? Absolutely, it is not natural movement. But training and these agreed upon movement patterns that we've come up with as a community, as a culture to test strength between different men, it is the best version of natural, right? So you have to have something developed in order to train the body. And over time, the sports science has worked up that breaking movement patterns into bits and building them up again is the best training method. You look at Olympic weightlifting, there is the clean, there is the hang clean, there is the push press. Like, we break all these movements up. And when you roll all that back up together, it is a natural human being moving. So training and expression of that trained body are two different things. So in theory, you could say that somebody that is training and then also farming could get his farming better through the training process, some of these implements that we do. In your thought, when you're saying like what creatine is not natural, gymming is not natural, can't they go together? I see what you're saying there. But those are two different genres. One is diet, one is movement. Just because you do one thing doesn't mean you should do the other thing as well. Like, they're not mutually, it's not mutually exclusive stuff. What I'm trying to say is, just because you do one natural or unnatural thing that you deem it unnatural doesn't mean from now on you do everything unnatural. You just start popping tren and steroids because you're doing bicep curls for your farming. That means fucking bicep curls are not natural, so let me just pop some tren as well. So I don't think that's a valid, excuse or reason or reasoning. Obviously, a lot of this stuff comes down to natural preference and how you want to live your life and whatever. My feelings are those that I kind of mentioned. I just don't see, whatever, whether you call deadlifts natural, unnatural, or whether you call bicep curls natural, unnatural, I don't see how those things are on the same level as putting something into your body that is 10xing the levels of a normal human being. A bicep curl can very much carry over to farming and is very similar. 10xing your creatine levels is impossible. Like, that is not on the same level as doing bicep curls for farming, So anyway, all of this stuff is, we can play around with the terms and terminology and definitions and, pick it apart. My feeling is it is far more natural to do gymming work, human movement, than it is to start injecting or inducing inducing crazy amounts of whatever electrolyte or supplement into the body. Because ultimately speaking, I'm just not sure if that is good stuff. Whereas I know for a fact that doing bicep curls is going to benefit you and your natural movement. Whereas creatine, I don't know. I don't know what the side effects are. I don't know anything. Whereas no amount of research can disprove that bicep curls are going to be negative for the farm. That's kind of what my point was. But as you know, you're a farmer, man. You know all about that. You know more about farming than me. I've just kind of appreciated those works from afar. I mean, I spent the first 10 years of my life on a farm as well. I wasn't all that very active. I was a child, but I spent a lot of my summers on the farm with my grandmother back in Croatia. Spent a lot of my time, so I know very well how tough that stuff is. And my dad, to this day, he always says, like, sometimes we carry on about, wouldn't it be great to go somewhere and live on a farm and just live it up with nature and sick of this freaking concrete jungle and all the rest of the shit. And my dad always stops me and he says, poljoprivreda je najgori posao, meaning, farming is like the worst job in the world because there's no sick leave. You've got animals depending on you. It is all on you. You wake up when the sun breaks and you go down when the sun sets. So it's just like fucking hard yakka. It is not for the pussies, man. That's for sure. High reps is so much better. I can actually feel the muscle, man. Fuck. Sets of 30 on rows is best as well. Oh, fuck. Where are we? By the way, my name is Bojan. In Bulgarian, I love your content. I agree with you. I can also say my farming is easier than my grandfather's, and he was huge back in the day from farming. There you go, Bojan. Bojan, you spell Bojan a little bit different than the Serbians, but Bojan, we spell it with a J, and it's exactly very much a popular name in Serbia as well. Bojan. Isn't part of being human being unnatural, such as tools, instruments? After a long day on the farm, I was telling my dad as a teenager, time to lift weights now. He was like, are you crazy? Wasn't the farm enough? Yeah, I've heard those comments in the past in my family as well, man. Would it only exist? Will you augment yourself? Also like a cyberpunk style? I never played cyberpunk. It is, but we should be using our bodies and moving, just like Ivan said. Doing unnatural drugs is one thing compared to doing unnatural gym going. Boyan, yeah, that's it. How will you know when enough is enough in terms of getting stronger? I'm facing this dilemma. Are you? Maybe get back to jumping and sprinting and basketball more often. Oh my man, I haven't reached that point yet where I feel like I'm strong enough. I'm not strong enough at all. I don't think I ever will. But strength training is not just about hitting numbers and PRs. There's also life benefits, bone density, the rest of it. Like there's health implications there. So I don't see myself stopping this ever. This is very much a passion. I can spend 2 hours every single day like I did today, like fucking every day. I can do this. So this is a big deal for me, man. I don't see me ever falling in love with anything again. I'll never be able to play basketball with the same passion that I played as a kid. My body's different. I'm older. There's injuries. There's all these, other elements, other people on the basketball court, ankle rolls, ACLs, all sorts of stuff. This, I can go absolutely nuts here without any worry of injury. I can't do that in basketball. In basketball, it's a young person's sport. This shit you can do when you're 60, 70, 80. Fuck. There's a lot of fucking sets. I did 11 sets. 11 sets of back. Okay. Hello, Bebo. I'm blessed, man. All right. A little bit of warm up here. I'm not going to spend a lot of energy on this. Just to get ready for squats. That's it. Let's go back up to 18 kilos today. Very, very light. Have to alter how I do some of this stuff. I can't go push this hard every day. Today is not for doctors. Today was a back day. Oh, the trouble with that is it's not even freaking heavy enough to stretch me. Oh my God. It needs to be 45, 40. It needs to be able to stretch me, that's the thing. Oh, fuck. All right, sit here a little bit. To be fair, farming is not natural. Million years of evolution and first signs of agriculture is 11,000 years ago. Without farming, our nature lifespan would be 30, 40 years. After how many reps would you say adding more reps becomes redundant? I'm doing sets of 50 on squats lately and my knees have been feeling amazing. But does it make sense to do sets of 100? Absolutely. Fucking do a set of 1,000 if you can. Don't worry about that. Just set yourself goals. Progress in whatever rep range you got you want to do. Just progress. Just progress in all these rep ranges. That's all that should be a concern. Don't worry about what's right or what isn't. If you improve your 100 rep max, you've improved. Don't worry. Live backward walking with sleds is basically a set of 200 partial. Yeah, partial leg extensions. How good is partial stuff? That's up for debate. You've done a single, 100 reps. Yeah, I can't do that even body weight. I'm not there yet, man. You need to be cardiovascularly fucking sound for a set of 100. I'm not that fit. No way. My best was a failure of 97 reps on 95. Jesus. That is a lot. Backward walking. Oh my God. Fuck, it's so good. I wanted to stop at three sets, but fuck it, I'll do 4, 5. I'll do 5. Yeah, this feels so good. Oh. So good, dude. This machine literally releases my back, releases my shoulders. I don't know what the hell it is about. I think it's something to do with the psoas, the deep down. Breathing is easier. Incredible. Fuck. This is brutality. After you do the set, you just want to get out of this, but if you stay, oh, it's such a fucking good stretch. And just as when you become comfortable in it, you do the next set, and then the next set, and each like 15, 20 seconds after the set, the muscle just wants to contract and you are stretching it. Oh my God. after all of that, we have to squat. All right, boys, come with me. Let's start loading the squat. Get it up to 180 or something. We'll see. Alrighty. Oh, that'll do. That'll do, lads. Oh my goodness. All right, now singles from now on. All right, boys. Need a breather. I don't think we're in failure range. We're talking hundreds of reps. I was just wondering how Ivan figures it benefits either directly or indirectly. Curious, why adductors and not abductors before squats? Because getting more blood in abductors would help open up your hips more. Maybe I'm wrong. Rutam, I am currently in experimentation mode. I don't really know which one's best. Initially, when I got these machines, I was on your page. I felt like abduction, opening the legs, hitting the side hip was feeling great. And it does feel good. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But recently I've been wondering, so I've been doing both every day, right? One or the other before squats and then the other one remaining after the squats. And I've been wondering and I've been kind of feeling maybe the adductors are even better. So I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm experimenting. Right now I'm hitting adductors every day. I'm not going to do abductors today. Tomorrow, I've decided to do abductors heavy every other day. Adductors heavy every other day, but also light every single day as a warm-up for squats. So let's see what happens, man. I'm not sure. I also theorized that the side hip was more important for squats, as in like a warm-up, but I'm not sure anymore. Gosh, everything feels heavy with the fried back. Even loading the bloody plates is tough. I can do 1,000 bodyweight reps until San Gennaro. I wouldn't guarantee you I break a plateau. Adductors are worked way more on squats, so it's warming up something that might even be a prime mover, especially for high bar squatters. David, I'd say 1,000-ish excessive, but high rep stuff is a more normal range. Definitely helps neurological grooving and blood flow. Grateful coming back from an injury. Yeah, the adductor story, it makes sense. I think the bottom portion of a squat, in a high bar squat, definitely ATG squat, is heavy on the adductors, man. Absolutely heavy on the adductors. And so I think priming those makes sense, without a doubt. But also in the same thought, I think priming the outer hip or the external rotators of the hip also primes something which is going to fight that middle portion of the squat. I think we're talking about both being necessary, right? Maybe doing both before squats is the best. I'm not sure, because at the bottom of the squat, adductors, the middle portion of the squat, abductors, when you go through a full rep of squats, you go from being at the top, fully locked out, to external rotation. The first, whatever, little bit is with the 30 degrees of hip flexion, let's say, is external rotation. Then you get to the parallel, or the parallel range of the squat, that becomes internal rotation. And then at the bottom becomes external rotation again. So your hips kind of move through this wave, and the tension gets handed over from one muscle group to the next, depending on where you are. So you need it all. I think the answer is you need it all, really. Like, you can't really divide the two. That's what I think at the moment, but something is probably more important than something else. We just have to work that out. God, that feels so fucking heavy. Oh man, when you fire your back, everything feels heavy. Yesterday, 140 felt like a feather. You do a bit of rowing, everything starts to feel shit. Rowing is a big dog of a fucking movement. Tough when you only have so much time. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, okay, moves fast, you reckon? I'll see how 160 goes, and then I'll decide whether 180 or not. But usually 180 is like my daily limit in this point in training where I'm not pushing the squat. In about, I want to say, a month, in about 2 months, I want to say, about September, I'm going to start to push squats for about 2 months. So then benching becomes a whole stack of singles, squats become heavy reps, And then we just swap and change. One I'm peaking, the other one I'm building. And then November, December is go time for the deadlift. Trying to get to 290 kg deadlift, maybe 295. Last year I put 20 bloody kilos on the deadlift. So let's see. Let's see what bloody happens. All right. Let's see 160 now, how this feels. Yeah, it fucking feels heavy as well. Jesus, my back's fried. Feels heavy on my traps. Rutam says, thought of counter to my own point. An argument of favor adductors would be the whole stronger muscle equals longer muscle idea. It's just as fascinating to think about. Yeah. You won't find me on that Donkey Kong on that bad girl machine. Have you tried BJJ? No, man, never tried BJJ. Stronger and longer adductors are the easier the job for abductors becomes, because they have to open up less stubborn sets of hips. Yeah, so these two muscle groups, let's just say these two movement patterns, are opposite to each other. And so stronger adductors, longer adductors means easier work for abductors to work against something that's already pliable and long. Same goes for the other way. The only difference is that one set of muscles is humongous and the other one isn't. Abductors are freaking tiny compared to how big the adductors are. And so when you're thinking about these decisions, always think to yourself, the biggest dog in the room needs most work. So adductors are huge and need so much work. Full attention. That's the thing. That's the thing to all of this. And that's why I always say to myself, like, follow the pattern, you know. Every part of our body has a side that is stronger and bigger and tougher. And those are the ones that usually cause the trouble, right? Because if the adductors become tight, dude, they wreak havoc all over the body. All right, 180. Let's see how 180 feels. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, fuck. Not bad at all. Moved well, I felt. Danish, what's happening, my man? The video of the 300 natural squat, was that possibly about clearance? No. It wasn't about clearance. I thought about it. It was just basically a snippet of one of these lives. Somebody asked me in the comments, like in the chat, is it possible? And I just answered. It wasn't aimed at anyone or anything. Oh, you mean in the video? Yeah, so in the video I said, you know, something about somebody doing 300 and then I later on found out that it was not natural. Yeah, that was probably about Clarence. That was definitely about Clarence. That was about him. Yep. I thought he was natural when he did it when I first started, and then later on I found out he wasn't natural. So there you go. I found the solution. 2-to-1 set ratio, adductors, abductors. There's a reason God made it that way. Train accordingly. Yeah, makes sense, Hammerhead. Makes sense to me, man. Been squatting with my hamstrings touching my calves for about 2 years now and had sacrificed weight before I go about 9 degrees. I love the results even with lighter weight, but I don't care. Might mix it up. Yeah, man. Whatever you reckon. No, gave on his handsome jokes tonight. Even your rectors are starting to go down to your butt. Thanks, Dave. I had the same clicking noise at the bottom of my squat. Freaks out the ladies at the gym. Oh, nothing. Don't worry about that, man. I've had clicking knees for about 5 years and people thought I was going to fucking die from them. People, oh, your knees are going to blow. Fucking, I'm still waiting for them to blow, man. It's absolutely normal. Don't you worry about that. When I first started squatting every day, people were like, oh, fucking, watch this fucking guy, man. He's going to end up in a wheelchair by day 100. All right. Oh, okay, give him another 100 days. He's definitely snapping a hernia or a hemorrhoid or fucking the knees are going to blow, the hips are going to blow. Mate, I'm still waiting for all those things. It's not happening, man. Movement, everyday mastery of movement is never going to be negative. Well, we'll give you a fucking hernia sitting on that couch too long. How about that? Sitting on that couch, he's not training any of those pelvic muscles. That's going to give you a hernia. And then you eat a big fat Big Mac. You eat yourself a big fat Big Mac, you get dehydrated, you're going to push that Big Mac out of your asshole. You know, you haven't squatted, you don't move. Hemorrhoids. Inactivity, the number one disease producer, I reckon. You gotta keep moving, man. Even loading and unloading this bloody barbell is more work than some of these blokes do. Fucking pathetic. Well, boys, this is it. Every day I work out for 2 hours, man. Sometimes I think to myself, I'm gonna make it quicker today. I'm gonna make it quicker. It's always 2 hours. No matter what I do, 12-hour sessions. What is it? Oh, just under 2 hours. 1 hour and 17. Look at that. Boys, like always, appreciate you. You guys are legends. Hanok, happy Sunday to you too, my man. I'll catch you all, guys, everyone tomorrow, same time, same place, man. I'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll hit a little bit harder the adductors and the abductors. I'll hit them pretty hard tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Catch you in the next one, boys. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.